I initially had a lot grander vision for this video in my head. I had a whole script written out. I had a shot list. I actually completed that video. I went all the way around campus, recorded all of the shots, followed my script, and I just wrapped up the very last shot, and I'm realizing it's not the video I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna try and freestyle it, and we're gonna see if that works any better. My soul has been very much in a state of unrest for the past few years, and it's really only recently that I've truly figured out why. I am a very creative person, but I'm also a really analytical person, and that has created a lot of tension for me. I have a real habit of researching a hobby or an interest or something so much that I trick myself into thinking I'm making progress towards that thing, but really I don't have anything to show for it, especially because of the internet and social media. In a world that feels so hopeless, creating things, making things, being generative is the ultimate rebellion against that hopelessness. That's the ultimate form of therapy for me, is making, is generating. I want to be a generative person. I want more than anything for people that hear me talk, people that see this, to go and make something. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't even have to be art, really. There are plenty of things that you can make that aren't necessarily art. But just going out and bringing something into the world that wasn't there before, I think that is quintessentially human. And I really think that our world has lost that a lot. Again, soapbox. But the internet creates this kind of attitude where everything is so polished, and everything either has to be super polished, or you need to intentionally be bad. Like, you need to intentionally make something that isn't good or that looks really homemade and choppy, because then it's being authentic. But I would argue that's kind of just as inauthentic, you know? And it's tough because the point that a lot of people bring up, and I do think it's a valid point, is that, well, the reason people get stuck in these cycles of mindless consumption is because, life is so difficult right now and the world is so insane, and people just need to decompress and turn their minds off. And I agree with that, but I think a big part of the reason why we feel hopeless and we feel like the world is so crazy right now and we're tired all the time is because of all of the internet that we're consuming. I think it's a feedback loop. I think the big reason there's a pervasive sense of hopelessness in our culture right now is because the algorithms and the internet have gaslit us into thinking that it's our point of view and not theirs. I don't think that we're all naturally just this hopeless, I think the internet thinks the world sucks this bad, and it's gaslit us into thinking that it was our idea that the world sucks this bad. I don't think we actually believe that. That's the reason, too, that it's so hard for us to break this cycle, because if we think it's our belief that the world is, terrible and everything is hopeless, then it's a lot easier to just fall victim to it, There's so much good in the world, and I'm so young, and I don't want to be 18 years old and already feel like my life isn't leading up to anything, And I feel like collectively as a generation, we all feel that way. I think, I don't know, there's something about creating specifically. There's something about being a generative person that really widens your eyes to all of those good things. When you're creating, you're looking for the best things that are out there, you know? Because you're trying to make a good end product. So when you're creating, your mind is intentionally seeking the best things that you can find. And I think that's powerful. And best doesn't mean highest quality. You know, best doesn't even necessarily mean good, happy things, you know? Because plenty of people make art that is sad or that shows the unpleasant parts of the world. People are always finding the best things, in that they're finding the most authentic things, and they're finding the things that give them a sense of contentment. You know, this is a really small example, but as I've been walking around filming this video all day, you know, I've been in public places the whole time, and I'm a dork walking around with a big bag and a microphone and a camera and a big tripod. And yet, people have been nice, you know, people stop and look at what I'm doing. People compliment what's going on. Whenever I'm in, you know, somewhere where people are walking, they're always hesitant, and I always have to make sure, you know, it's fine, I'll just record it again, because I'm in a public place, I can't stop them from walking. But, you know, people have just been kind. And I saw it because I was creating. That's the point that's the point I'm trying to make. I saw those good things through creation. I've done about 25 minutes of talking, so I'm gonna just wrap it up. I'm sure there's something usable there. But I will be uploading something generative to this YouTube channel every single week. Something. It can be whatever I want. It can be as short or as long as I want. It can be as produced or unproduced as I want it to be. It doesn't even have to be a video. It can be whatever I want, but I'm gonna make something every single week because I need that, you know? I think we all need that, but I especially need that. And I'm really gonna let my creative filter down. I'm gonna stop filtering my creativity through a lens of expectation, and I'm just gonna start making stuff. I'm not saying you have to do it every week, but I really think you'd be better off if you did that too, at least, you know, somewhat regularly. Just make something. This world is so big, there's so much going on that there's no way you can't find something to make that you'll be passionate about. Just do it, you know? I didn't really like the way that most of the script I wrote turned out, but I think I'm gonna end this with the final shot that I filmed for that original video, because I think it's really good. I think it distills down the idea that I'm trying to get across. So, just have a good day.